Hi everyone, I am Divya Mohan, a Principal Technology Advocate at SUSE, and we are here at KubeCon CloudNativeCon EU 2025 in London. I have with me Katherine here, who is a good friend, and I'm excited to have her here today. So, Katherine, first impressions of KubeCon in London. What are your thoughts?
Well, massive as usual, but maybe even a little bit bigger. I think it's bigger maybe than Paris. And I was actually just having the conversation about how we've maybe achieved North America scale. Maybe KubeCon EU is the hot new KubeCon.
Yeah, I think we just like increase in numbers every single year.
Yeah.
But what are some of the interesting conversations you've been having and some of the things that you're interested in at KubeCon?
Well, I'm particularly interested in the conversation around AI, of course, and implementations, cloud deployments, but from a security lens. So I am actually involved in a project called Open Platform for Enterprise AI. I currently lead our security working group, and it's an evolving field, obviously, and there are a lot of pockets of the open source community and security community focusing on this intersection of security and AI. And what's interesting to me is each one of them is kind of approaching it from a different perspective. In our case, we're really focused on reference architectures, RAG implementations, very specific use cases. And so you can kind of view the security perspective through parts of the deployment, the software development life cycle that may be where we'll focus on certain things that's like, let's say the top level, whereas maybe some of the fundamentals like initial model training is something that we will rely on our friends from another community to focus on. So it's kind of interesting. It's an interesting place to be right now.
Right. And for those of our audience who don't know about OPEA or
Sure, yes.
Can you give us some context around what the project is about and what are the different areas that you deal in? You said you were part of the security working
group. Yeah.
But what are some of the different areas that you'll deal in?
Well, so what OPEA is, it's only been around a year.
Happy birthday.
Yes, I know. It's right around now, actually. So, but it was created by Intel and then contributed back to the Linux Foundation under Data and AI. And the idea is to kind of shorten the path, I think, to actually get generative AI applications into production. It gives people a set of reference architectures. I believe there are over 20 examples of various implementations that you can start with. For example, there is one that gives you kind of a starting scaffolding to make a chat Q&A application out of the box. And that's a really great example that I like to use. So that's what it's for, and that's the aim. And then, from there, we have the security working group, but there are a lot of other working groups too. I mean, there's the end user experience that it's getting together, I believe, and there are a lot of different focus areas. But really, it's focusing on making this easier for developers and engineers to get started.
Yeah, and call to action probably. Where would people find OPEA and what are some of the ways to get involved? Do you all have a Slack channel, a GitHub thingy,
Slack,
whatever?
Through LF Data and AI. The first thing is just OPEA.dev, OPEA.dev.
Yep.
And there's a GitHub, there are a couple of GitHub repos, actually.
Yeah.
And we have a security working group repo, and I would love to see people join our working group meetings, join us in Slack, and just come hang out, have the conversation, figure this out together, figure out the best way to do things.
Yeah, and with that, I think I will let you go and explore the show floor because it's massive this time, as always.
Yes.
And speak to you soon, I guess.
Yes, it was so great to see you again.
So great to see you too. Bye.